Well, first, just what are your thoughts from looking at VCU again?
I thought we played really well. You know, in the first half, struggled making some plays around the basket,
Right.
but I'm not sure that was our fault as
Right.
opposed to them
Easy,
playing
yeah.
really well.
Yeah.
And we were able to finish some of those plays in the second half, but our defense in the second half was very, very good. Activity level, deflections,
Right.
forcing some turnovers, controlling the defensive glass, which created some fast break opportunities for us. So we beat a very good team that plays a different style than we're accustomed to seeing on a daily basis. So I thought our guys handled it well, and as the season progresses, that's going to grow into obviously a better win, I believe.
Right. Defensively speaking, do you see the team making kind of?
We're making some progress.
Yeah.
We're making some progress. The last 3 games, our defensive field goal percentage in the second half of all 3 of those games was right around 33%, which is good. And as long as we control our defensive backboards, and that obviously aids our offense.
Right,
We're better offensively in the half court than we have been in the past. But our offense really becomes even more efficient when we're able to get defensive stops and rebounds. When you combine those two together, that's when, a 50-point second half, that's
Right.
23 more points than we scored in the first half, and you get fouled more when
Right.
you got the ball in the open court.
Yeah,
You get fouled more when you're able to attack before the defense is set, even if it's not a true transition basket. So again, it's a circle that you have to
Right.
continue to move around. The better you play on defense, the better you're going to be on offense.
Right.
But I think we're making some progress defensively. Just again with some new guys and some concepts that they're really starting to grasp.
Okay. Like with Adam, for instance, like what's something that you see him doing defensively?
Well, he's getting better on the ball. He's getting better at our rotations. Understanding those, being able to defend ball screen action and different things like that. He's really getting a lot better in those.
I was going to ask you, I was asking you the other day about just is this team better, and you were saying like guys can do different things. And one thing I noticed, I was asking Moose about this, like Adam, there were 2 possessions in a row in the midway through the second half. Like one, he just drove to the basket. I forget which came first. And then the second, he kind of put on the brakes, and I guess the guy from behind him kind of ran into him. And those seem like things that maybe you guys didn't have that kind of in your skill set, I guess. And now, if you need a basket, you can look to things like that to create some.
Yeah, I think there's an ability difference.
Right.
There's also a basketball IQ difference.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Some of that comes with some experience. Some of that comes with, all the guys at different times have been asked to be a go-to guy. You know what I mean? And so I think that really helps. The play that Marcus made where he kind of stopped and go, read the defense, and then dropped it off. Yeah. I'm not sure 2 years ago he would have been able to make that play.
Yeah.
He's getting more comfortable with the ball in his hands where he's not always having to be the scorer, but able to create some for other people as well. And it just, hopefully what you do is you continue to grow in those areas because it makes the game easier.
Yeah.
With the rotation you're using now, keeping bodies fresh, against a team like Georgia that likes to give their starters a lot of minutes, how important is that?
Well, I think it's important. It's been a big key for us, the whole year, being able to have the confidence to go into the bench and have those guys make a big impact for us. I think it's been a huge advantage for us. There's no doubt about it. The one thing in terms of this game, I think Georgia's bench is underrated. I think Edwards is going to be a tremendous player, and he's playing better every single day that he's out there. They got Derek back off of injury, who I really liked in high school over here at Pebblebrook. And they got, anytime you have a guy like Frazier, if he does come off the bench, I don't know if Parker will be healthy enough to play, but he started against us last year. So I think their bench is evolving too, and I think they're a lot deeper than maybe people give them credit for.
Naturally, in the last game, you used a bunch of different people bringing the ball up court with not having Travis, but I imagine it's really important to get him back and healthy to allow some of those guys to do some of the other things that they do.
Yeah, you know, and Ken and I were just talking about it. That kind of versatility is beneficial for us. But there's no question that we need Travis back and healthy. He's great at playing at the pace that we want to play at. And, you know, defensively, he really helps us because he gets into the ball and creates steals and turnovers and deflections and really knows our system. So as well as those other guys played handling the ball, Todrick and Marcus and Adam, obviously we're a much better team when we're at full strength.
Do you know if he'll be able to play yet?
We're going to see a little bit today. I would assume he's gonna be good to go on Saturday afternoon. Maybe limited the next couple of days to get him ready.
Right.
Again, that's one of the benefits of having experience. He's not a freshman having to do it, and he's really not a sophomore because this is his third year.
Right.
So it's not like we're going to put in anything world-changing or anything like that where he's not going to know what to do.
Right.
He's played against him twice already, played in big games, so even if he's a little limited, he'll be ready to go on Saturday afternoon.
You've played against some good guards this year. 2 more guards this year, and the important thing about them is that they're seniors and they have a lot of experience, know their way around the court, so it's going to be important to keep those 2 under control.
Right, I mean, all their perimeter players except for Will Ridge is a veteran. You know, you got Mann and Gaines, 2 of the best guards in the country. Gino at the 3, you bring up, like I said, maybe they start him, they bring off the bench. Frazier as a junior, he's played a ton of minutes. That's, you know, that's a quality backcourt. So you got to do a really good job. You know, they're explosive. They're great in the open court. They can score in the half court. They know their system. They know their roles. And so again, you have to be dialed in on guys like that.
The last game against on Tuesday was a physical game. How did the guys come out of that game?
We're fine. Guys are good. It's a physical game meant to be played that way. So we'll be all right.
How many of those guys on the Georgia's roster did you recruit, or at least were
pretty good number of them.
Really?
Oh yeah. Probably 5 or 6.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
I remember you saying before that you and Mark had talked about maybe playing at Phillips. Have you had any more conversation about that?
I mean, we talked about it, but haven't discussed it. We won't be playing in Phillips next year.
You sure?
Positive.
Oh.
Maybe the year after.
Todrick, he had a very, very strong second half. What is it decision making where you see him getting better?
Just decision making, being able to drive and create, it not always, shooting the ball on those drives. You know, he's a downhill guy that helps us in that. He was really good defensively in that second half. And get out on the break and play in the open court, knocking down his free throws. And so he just gives us a huge dimension that I think if we can keep cultivating and he can keep putting in the work, which he's been doing, I think it could really have a huge impact for us.
Rebounding it's been a key for this team this year, and you go up against a guy that's averaging close to 9-10 rebounds a game. So I imagine that matchup with Mitchell, Jacobs, and of course White coming off the bench and Ben is going to be really crucial in this game.
Crucial, because again, the guy I talked about with Edwards, he's as good offensive rebounder as anybody they got. He just hasn't maybe played the minutes at this particular point, but Matten has done a tremendous job on the glass. Obviously, a dynamic scorer that can score in the post and outside. So whenever in the 4 games that we've played, the rebounding has always been a big key. There's no question about it, and it will be Saturday afternoon as well.
What kind of pride do you guys take in the streak that you guys have had against Georgia and just the?
Well, I mean, obviously you feel good about it,
Yeah.
but that has no bearing on Saturday afternoon.
Right.
And it's as you know, you'll get tired of me saying it. Whoever plays better during those 40 minutes is going to be the one that is successful. And the past games, I don't think give us any advantage at all or disadvantage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just never really bought into that stuff. It's an important game because it's the next one on the schedule, but
Right.
you know, there's always a little added value just because of the rivalry.
Right.
And guys know each other. You know, the coaches know each other, and so it's and it has been in each of those games been great. 40 minutes of basketball. Every game's been played well.
Right.
You know what I mean? Every game's been played well, and so you just kind of move on.
And of course, you want to keep the momentum going as you get closer to the ACC schedule and pile up those wins going into the
Yeah,
season.
you guys love talking about what's coming down the road. We got to have a good practice today. You know what I mean?
You want to win the next one.
Yeah. I mean, you want to win them all.
Yeah.
But your focus and concentration is on the single game ahead of you. And really, for us, we've done a good job because ours has been on the day that we have in front of us. You know what I mean? Obviously, we'll do Georgia work and all that stuff, but we want to make sure that at the end of today's practice, Georgia Tech has made some improvements. All good?
All right.
Steal anything